Today in this video, we are going to create a complete front end using AI Lovable, and we are going to connect it to an n8n automation, which is going to be connected to Google Sheet, Gmail, and we are going to have this end-to-end whole application. You're going to love it because this is exactly how you can build a SaaS and you can connect it to the backend using n8n. One more thing, for every SaaS application or any application, we need a database. And here we have kept it super simple with Google Sheet. We've got a lot of information saved in Google Sheet, and we are gonna display that using a front end that we have built through Lovable. So now I'm gonna jump into this application and exactly show you how it looks like. So as you can see right now, we have got Lovable here. It's one of the best AI tools out there to build any mobile applications, build any web applications. It also connects with Supabase, which is one of the databases. But for us, we're not going to use that. We're going to use Google Sheet. Obviously, we've got n8n for automation and we've got Google Sheets. These Google Sheets are really important because that's where all the information is stored for us. Right now, if you look at the Google Sheet, we've got the names of the clients, we've got headshots, we've got all of this information already gathered here. We have also information about pricing, status, emails, all of this information is here. So since we have all of this information, we are going to create a complete dashboard. And for that, we're going to write a prompt. Hey, I'd like you to create me a visually engaging, a beautifully designed dark theme dashboard that's going to display comprehensive My Google Sheet data. So you exactly saw what the My Google Sheet data was, and we are going to exactly tell Lovable what is exactly the format of all of this information, of this data, and we have defined key metrics, client, number of headshots, price, status, emails. Because we are creating a front end, we are creating a dashboard, we want to tell the front end exactly what are the things which are important to us. You could already see client, number of headshots, price, status, email. It all comes from here. Another good thing is that we have got GPT-5 models, and new models are coming in. They're already directly added by Lovable, which is excellent for our specific use case. Now we are going to copy this Google Sheet and we are going to make sure that wherever we've got format is equal, we have to add the Google Doc, Google Sheet, and we have to add format is equal to CSV. This makes it much easier to read this whole CSV, and that is our whole intention of adding it. It has changed the format or how it has to be exported, and this is how it works in all my testing that we've done. We also tried other formats, but this one was the one which was being read properly. Now we are going to go and click on it and we're going to see how this whole execution works like. And Lovable is going to go in and it's going to start building and designing everything, the whole UI for us, all of the elements which are there. It's going to start building out for us. Exactly. So now you can see this whole dashboard which has been created. We can see different clients, we can see number of headshots, we can see revenue, we can see performance, we can see revenue trend. All of this is automatically created. Obviously, we mentioned and specified some key metrics, but despite all of that, this is looking quite excellent. We've got number of headshots, we've got status background. What I love is that these charts are usually not that easy to build. For example, status background, who has delivered, who has not delivered. This is coming from Google Sheet based on all of the 6 clients that we have had. 4 of them were delivered, 2 of them were not, and that is specified here. And we can also look at recent clients where they've got somebody with 4,000, 4,500, 10,000. So this whole information is saved. We can also go inside this sheet and try to update some information. And this is going to be useful for us in order to figure out, hey, if that thing is going to be updated completely here. So now we change it to from 4,000 to 40,000 for Danny. And we want to see if this information has been updated. We click on the refresh button here. Because we have to refresh the whole application. Then at that point, it's going to pull out more information. And we can see on the right, we've got 40,000. So revenue trends for Danny are 40,000. And in the recent chart, you've also gotten 40,000. So that shows us that in real time, all of these things are changing. So it's properly connected to the database. Now we are going to go and create all of this inside n8n to exactly show you how the whole backend has existed and what are the changes that we made there, how exactly to gather this information and set up this whole backend. Obviously, every n8n starts with a trigger. So when chat message received, anytime there's text which is sent, and this is going to be executed. So we want to make sure that chat is executed. Then we are adding an AI agent. Here we can add any different agent. And for our use case, we are adding the OpenAI chat model here. We've got credentials which have already been set up. If you want to see how to set them up, I've got a tutorial video exactly where you can set it up properly, how to get the API key from OpenAI, all of that information. I've already created a basic video for you. Now we are setting up memory. This is where you have to save all of this information so that AI agent can have certain level of memory. And here we are also connecting with Google Sheet tool, because Google Sheet, we also want to update based on GPT. We also want to update information there. So that's why we are getting the Google Sheet model, Google Sheet node, and then we are connecting it to our prospects, which is exactly what we want to use specifically for this use case of ours. And we also have to specify sheet. So we've got sheet 1 here. That's what we are setting it up. Get rows and sheets in Google Sheet. So this is mostly like it's gonna AI agent is gonna go and grab information from this Google Sheet at that point. Now obviously we added another Google Sheet, and this is appending or updating, as you saw from the chat model, that we want to also update the information. Just like in the example you saw that we changed to 40,000, that information is exactly what we want updated. And for this here, we have to specify columns to match on what is the information that we have to specifically change. You can see that we've got prospects in sheet 1, and we have got clients to match on, which we are going to do based on clients, because we're going to say the name of all of these people. So it has to know where to map it properly to. And then we have got values to send, detect automatically by model. All of this information, it automatically understood what was inside those sheets and then how exactly to properly map it. So this thing we have connected, we are also adding it to the tool. And then once we have added it, this information is there. Now, obviously, we want to rename because both of them look similar. Rename node, append or update. As you can see, we've got get rows. Now we want to add this option, add option about system message. This is exactly where we specify a prompt here. So we are specifying remove your helpful assistant, and we are adding an AI assistant. This is a prompt that we've got here, an AI assistant that manages information in the Google Sheet. Your job is to read information through chat, review the chat data, and update any relevant information. So all of this information we have added here. Now we are going to go and properly run this whole. So if we are going to execute this right now, we can go and write some information inside this tab. Can you please give me the list of clients? And then once you write that, this is exactly AI is going to run, prompt is going to run, it is going to use GPT-5, and then it's going to gather this information from the sheet. We have already specified the prospect sheet, and this is the list of all of the different 6 clients that we have gotten. So by just triggering the chat is triggering this whole AI automation. And from that, we could really see that all the information is gathered here very properly. We can also specify, can you give me the total number of headshots? So this is also important. We want to check it out, that if it is going to get this information. And once we execute this, we see that it has given us proper information, which is number of clients is 23 here in this example. Yeah, if you add all of them up, so it is going to be 23. Now we're going to ask it if it can update the price information. So right now we're just saying, can you update the price of Danny at 4,000? So previously we thought that we saw that the information is 40,000, and now we're going to see, look at it, the upgrade row is actually working. And when we go in there, we are going to look if that change has actually happened. And yeah, so it has been changed to 4,000. Yeah, look at that. It has been changed to Danny. We can see it has been changed to 4,000. When you refresh it inside the dashboard, you're also going to see the change, that it went from 40,000 to 4,000. But right now you don't see. So let's maybe try refreshing all of it so that it moves from 40,000 to some other number. So it's right now loading data from Google Sheet, and then you can see that Danny has shifted to 4,000, which is super interesting. So really inside n8n, we just ask it to update, and this AI model just this n8n automation completely updated all of this information into Google Sheet. And obviously this all happened because we're chatting inside n8n. This is the trigger that we've set up, that the trigger starts from chatting. But obviously we could just set up a webhook here, which is our initial goal, because we want to set up a webhook which is going to come from Lovable. So right now we're going to search for a webhook, and we're going to make sure that this webhook, when it has a URL, this HTTP method, which is going to be for us obviously post, and on this we're going to publish information. So once we have got all of this, we're going to publish information here and then respond to webhook. Okay, all of that information has been saved. And right now here we're gonna search for another node which is respond to webhook, because we want an answer which comes. So any webhook, once we have posted information, we also want that information to go back there. And we also want to add another automation, we want to add Gmail node to just automatically send a message when this whole information has taken place, when any updates have happened. So inside n8n, we want to automate such that a new automation happens. Here you can see that we are already connected here with with Gmail. Automatically to from subject, we can all set it up, and tool description, we already specified that it has to be set up automatically. Email type, HTML text. HTML are the best emails, so we set up this type. You can also have a textual format to it, so that's going to be amazing. Now we are going to just write it inside Lovable. I want to precise this. The chatbot should go to the webhook. If it should get the response from the webhook and automatically update all of this information. So right now inside Lovable, rather than writing the code, previously we always have to write the code. We can just specify to just update the code, and inside Lovable, we just give this URL, and then it automatically knows Lovable that any of this information that we want to update. If we want to update, we can just update it from Lovable. We're just going to make a post request to this URL that we've specified from n8n. The huge benefit is this is going to set up the whole backend for us. And once this backend has been set up, then we can chat automatically from Lovable, and we can make sure that all of this information is gathered. Changes made. So it has created component chat widget for us, which is excellent. So we're going to see where the chat widget is. And yeah, we see that there's already a chat widget. This is the assistant that Lovable automatically created. And usually it was really hard to set all of this up, but this chat widget is also connected automatically to the webhook, which makes it really, really powerful. So now when we go in there and we execute workflow here, so right now we've started this whole workflow. This is waiting for trigger event. So right now it is waiting for an event to be triggered. And how is it going to be triggered? This is when we are going to write a chat message here. Then because it is connected, it is going to be triggered. So we are going to say, can you get the list of my clients? So now we ask it, can you get the list of my clients? But we see that it is receiving an error in subnode simple memory. So there's some issue with the memory. And this is where if we go inside the AI agent, define below. So previously it was not defined, but right now we want to take the input message and we want to add it there. So that's good. Now it's going to be saved. Now we're going to run it again, and we have to click on execute workflow again, and we're going to write this automatically already again ourselves. Update, here's a list of all the clients currently. Can you give me a list of all the clients? And then it has given me the list of all of the clients. Okay, this is in non-formatted manner, but all of this information you've received right now. Now we are going to just see the whole dashboard here. As you can see, we do not need the chat because we've got the whole finalized version of the dashboard, which is working. Can you please increase the budget of the job for John to 1,000? This is going to be 1,400. This is going to be super interesting, because that means, we have to click on execute workflow. It couldn't reach but this is really important because this is going to update everything inside the sheet. So now I'm just going to run it, and then this should run the update one inside the sheet. So if we go in there, So if you go up, and then there it is updating the rows. There, I think we see an error, but let's see if it continues, if it works. So AI agent got all of this information and updated. So workflow was successfully executed. And right now output updated there. So this is the output JSON format. So this has been updated to 14,000, which is excellent. So right now when we go in there, John, the price has been updated. Previously it was now 40,000, and now all of this information has been updated from the chatbot, from the chat widget that we built inside Lovable, and we did not have to write any backend at all for this, which is super, super interesting. Now we also want to check about the Gmail, that once anything is changed, all of these people are sent an email. So for example, right now, if we are changing the price of headshots, we want to make sure that all of these people are sent an email, and all of this happens from Lovable. This is really powerful if you want to implement it for your business. This automates the whole process. So right now we keep on again getting an error because we have to execute the workflow. Once we execute the workflow, because then we know that it is properly running. Can you send email to John that that this budget has been increased to? So now we're just telling from chat to just send an email. So this is gonna execute the whole workflow for us, and it sent a message in Gmail. If you go right now in our email, we are going to see, okay, we wanted to inform you that your budget has been increased. So automatically it took all this information, it updated the information, and it also sent an email. This has to be one of the best automations out there for us. And today, I hope you really enjoyed this automation, because I really enjoyed this automation. I have to wear these glasses because with the light at night, it gets really intense. But it's super interesting that today in this video, we created a whole front end automatically in Lovable completely. We connected it to a database, which was Google Sheet, and also we created a chat widget automatically by telling Lovable without any code. And from that chat widget, we can send email, we can update anything. This is really powerful because this could be implemented in any business. For example, if there's a chat widget, if some business wants a chat widget, which can perform many different actions, because obviously customers are coming on the website, then all of those actions can be operated using exactly this. So I hope you liked it. If you like this and if you want me to create more videos like that, send us some love, because it takes a lot of effort, and there's almost 3 people who work on these videos. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe and share it with your friends, because it helps with the algorithm. And now it's 2 a.m. So now I can finally go to bed. Ciao.